playing house. I watch myself kick the side of the truck, drunkenly cursing God, the fates, science, and all the powers of the universe. Nicholas approaches with an expression of mild frustration. "How the hell did we get here?" I ask.
"It's my fault," he says, waving his hands at me. "I let you wander too long before I found you in that forest."
Did I do this?
"It's fine." Nicholas tries to reassure me with his smile. "You're learning how to steer, and that's okay. Just get us back on track."
"I got this," I say, but I have little reason to believe I do. I close my eyes, conjuring the scent of burning candles. The melody of a familiar song filters through my mind, and when I look around, I'm surprised to see we're exactly where I intended us to be. Nicholas and I are standing in Gail's house. Her parents have left on a weekend trip, and while the place is empty of adults, the teenage couple has taken joy in, as Gail has been referring to it all weekend, playing Mr. and Mrs. Mudd. Starting Friday afternoon, they've had the run of the place, and now, on a lazy Sunday morning, they relish the final moments of their quixotic honeymoon. Under a gabled ceiling in a snug bedroom lit with a string of white lights and flickering candles, Gail and Mudd lay in each other's arms, languishing in their intimacy as Sublime and Nirvana become the soundtrack of their teenage romance. "What if I win the talent show?" Gail asks. "Better you than someone else." She looks at him seriously. "I heard you and Chris talking about how much you need the prize money." "We know this guy that knows a guy that has a recording studio, and we want to do a demo." "Really?" "Mm-hmm." "That's so cool. Way cooler than what I would do. You'd probably overdose on banana dreams." Gail rests her head on the lovesick boy's chest and listens to his heartbeat. "Is that what you want to do after graduation?" "Be a musician." He strokes her hair, his arm bent like a broken wing. "I have to go to college first. My father's basically blackmailing us with our inheritance." "I thought you didn't talk to your dad." "We don't." He kisses her. "Chris and I decided to get the old man back with art degrees." "Sounds like you have a plan." "Kind of. For as long as I can remember, we've wanted to make music, but it's not like there's a college degree that gets you a recording contract or anything." Gail falls silent for a moment before asking, "Would you stay in Ohio?" "For school, but then I'd probably have to move." The CD finishes, and Gail moves to put in a new one. From where Nicholas and I are standing, we can see her face, whereas my younger self cannot. We see the pain she hides from him as she places No Doubt's tragic kingdom into the player. Turning back, her grief is well hidden. Her message is in the song she plays. "You'll make it," she says, surrendering to his embrace. "I know you will." The sounds of "Don't Speak" and the lights fade away like a cue on a theatrical set. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I see we're both at the trailer park, and Gail's car idles in the driveway. Mudd's out, but refuses to go inside. Instead, he lingers beside the driver's window. Gail says, "Don't you have enough sense to get out of the rain?" "I wish it would rain. It's just sprinkling." He takes a few deep breaths as he leans in through the window, his voice falling to a whisper. "I just want to be with you." "You'll see me tomorrow." "There's something I've been meaning to tell you." Gail answers him with a smile. "Tell me at school." Mudd laughs at himself. It's long past curfew and his tongue fails to cooperate. Gail's expectant demeanor makes it clear she's not going to be of much help. Whatever it is he wants to say, she wants him to say it on his own volition. It's kind of hard for me to say. I haven't had a lot of luck with this word, but... He takes another deep breath, screwing up his courage and blocking out thoughts of rejection. "I love you." "I love you too, Mudd," she says, much more matter of fact. "You see that?" I ask, pointing to the young lovers who reach for each other through the open window. "That's what's missing from my marriage." Nicholas cocks his head to the side. What? I realize almost immediately the point I'm making sounds stupid, but I persist, saying, passion. Nicholas nods.
Sure.
He points at his wrist.
What time do you have?
I produce my phone. 23:59:38.
We're here to get that key, Paul. Please tell me you haven't been slowing our progress on purpose.
Maybe we don't have to go any further, I say.
Why wouldn't we?
I could change things here with Gail. If I was with her, my whole life would be different. Nicholas crosses his arms and squints at me.
Do you mind explaining your theory to me?
I don't have to change what happened in Fallujah if I do this. I never would have gone if I'd had her. He throws his hands in frustration. Who knows what I'd be capable of with Gail as my muse? Mud steps away from the car with a renewed bliss. With headlights in his eyes and the motor running, he has the benefit of not seeing or hearing what Nicholas and I do. In a private moment of reflection, Gail grips the steering wheel until her knuckles are pale. She runs her hand across her brow and utters a self-reproaching scoff. What are you doing? She asks herself. Turning to Mud, I say, you'd better do something before you lose her. As Gail's headlights swoop, casting long shadows against the trailer's wall, the world freezes in time. Droplets of rain stall in their path to the earth, but my younger self still moves. He swivels his head and stares at me as though I've snuck up on him in the darkness. Who are you? Nicholas and I become very still. Hey, I say. Mud appraises me with inquisitive eyes. Can I help you? I try my luck. I'm looking for a key? Nicholas extends his arm in front of me.
He doesn't have it.
Are you sure? Mud asks, sure about what? Nicholas says,
not unless you're passionately in love with yourself.
Maybe the door's unlocked, I say. Did you check it? My younger self glares as if he's trying to evaluate my sanity. Are you trying to get into my house? Pinching 3 fingers, one at a time, Nicholas says,
Okay, 1, yes, of course I checked the doors. This is a life or death situation. 2, he can't see or hear me, so as far as he's concerned, you're raving to yourself. And 3, I don't know why he's talking to you right now, but I do know it's not a good thing. So choose your words very carefully.
I smack myself in the head. Oh, this isn't the Copleys. No, they're across the street. Oh, right, I say with a pinch of laughter. Sorry, I was really drunk last night when I dropped my keys. I start down the sidewalk. Nicholas, who trails behind me, says,
That was close.
I spin on my heels, turning back to my younger self. I couldn't help but notice you with that pretty girl. Mud gapes at me. What? Nicholas moves to block my path.
Paul!
You two make a great couple, kid. If I were you, I would do everything in my power to keep her around. The younger me leers. I'm just saying, I hear wedding bells. I don't even know if marriage is in the cards. Nicholas taps me on the shoulder.
Come on!
A girl like that only comes around once in a lifetime, Paul. How do you know my name? Nicholas grabs the shirt tail of my jacket and tugs.
Stop it!
I grow impatient, pulling away from him, and raise my voice. I just don't want you to do anything you'll regret. Mud stomps toward me. Get out of my yard! Finally allowing Nicholas to pull me away, I offer Mud a parting nod. When we've gotten around the corner, Gail's car thaws, and the light sprinkle continues. Nicholas pushes me toward the street. Nostrils flaring, he roars at me.
Do you have any idea how dangerous that was?
Like I'm going to get knocked out by myself.
Do you really think he needs you to tell him Gail is someone special?
It couldn't hurt. Nicholas pokes me angrily.
You're fucking this up!
The back of my neck burns like it's being stung by fire ants. I go from calm to livid, just like that. What's your problem? You said I could change things.
I said you could change 1 moment. 1 moment, Paul. Is this the moment you want to change?
Yes.
Oh, you want to change how you went into your house?
Not that, but Nicholas moves in until his nose is inches from mine. I can feel his spit on my face as he shouts.
Seriously? It's not? That's great, because you didn't change a goddamn thing!
You don't know that, I say. Maybe I planted a seed.
I've got bad news for you. He won't remember the old guy drooling all over his teenage girlfriend. I'm willing to bet when he looks back on tonight, he'll remember how great it felt to finally tell someone he loves them and hear it back. I'd also wager when you really think about it, you'll remember walking down that long dark sidewalk with a sudden, inexplicable dread, like you were losing her.
Even if his words ring truer than I'd like to admit, I'm done listening to this fucking cartoon character. You know nothing about me. He mocks me with his laughter.
I know that every moment you spend thinking about what you lost with Gail is nothing more than suicidal masturbation. You've squandered 20 years of your life mourning that Gail-shaped hole in your heart that you foolishly think only your high school sweetheart could ever fill.
I ball up my fists and give him a non-verbal warning. Nicholas continues his assault.
You're wasting precious time you can't afford to lose.
He shakes his head at me.
And what about Amaya? Does your wife, do your children mean anything to you? Or are you so self-absorbed that you just don't fucking care about your family?
My breath goes ragged. My heart pounds. I raise my fists, ready to fight. I want to take my anger out on him. I want to beat the ever-living shit out of Santa Claus. Nicholas grows cold. He stares at me from under his brow, his lips tight against his teeth.
Are you going to hit me?
He lets his arms dangle at his sides and stands before me expectantly.
I'm not going to hit you, so if you want to fight, you'd better hurry up and do it.